Okay, let's just stop panicking for a second. Take a breath. Literally everything you've been told by those doom-scrolling headlines about the AI job apocalypse, yeah, it's pretty much a lie. Welcome to The Explainer, where we're gonna tear apart that mainstream narrative and actually look at the hard data. Because if you wanna know how to survive and thrive over the next decade, you really need to understand that AI isn't here to wipe out the workforce. No, it is here to trigger the absolute greatest wealth transfer and career restructuring we have seen in a century. So, grab your notes, because we're about to lay out the real roadmap to wealth in 2030. So let me ask you point blank, and I want you to really deeply think about this. Will your job be replaced by a robot before 2030? It's the exact question keeping millions of professionals awake at night. You see these generative AI models writing code, drafting complex legal documents, even creating award-winning art. And honestly, it's entirely valid to feel that creeping fear about your own economic future. We've all been there. Well, I'm about to completely shatter that mental pattern for you right now. 78 million. Listen to that again. 78 million. That is not the number of jobs being destroyed. According to the World Economic Forum, 78 million is the net positive amount of entirely new jobs that artificial intelligence is going to create globally. The entire narrative is flipped. The real threat isn't a lack of jobs. It's actually a lack of qualified people to fill the new ones. And the financial upside emerging from this shift, it's absolutely mind-blowing. 25,000 euros. That is the potential monthly salary. Yes, I said monthly. For a highly skilled prompt engineer in today's leading markets. We are talking about professionals who literally just know how to talk to AI, optimize its outputs, and generate massive value for companies. The money is definitely there. It's just moving to entirely new zip codes. All right, let's get into Section 1, the myth of unemployment. We really need to unpack what the data truly says about what is actually on the chopping block. When you dig into the employment data compiled from Forbes and Microsoft, there's a super clear and honestly kind of surprising divide. In the high-risk category, you've got your data entry clerks, telemarketers, basic customer service, and, ironically, basic coders. The rule of thumb here is simple. Anything highly routine and predictable, it's doomed. But then look at the safe category: plumbers, therapists, strategic leaders. The highly physical and deeply human roles are completely insulated from this wave. Which brings us to Section 2, the Great Jevons Paradox. This is exactly why automation actually drives hiring. Okay, so this is the massive plot twist that explains why automation doesn't lead to red lines, but actually triggers aggressive hiring sprees. Way back in 1865, this guy, William Stanley Jevons, noticed that when steam engines became more efficient, we didn't use less coal, we used exponentially more. Why? Because cheaper energy meant we could do way more things with it. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what's happening with AI right now. When AI makes coding, writing, and data analysis faster and cheaper, businesses don't just stop needing those things. Actually, scratch that. The demand for software and content absolutely explodes, which creates entirely new roles just to manage and scale all that massive output. And the crazy thing is, the Jevons paradox is already in action. By 2030, the painful reality is that about 92 million routine jobs are going to vanish. But right alongside it, 170 million entirely new jobs will be created. Let that sink in. We aren't facing an apocalypse here. We're experiencing a massive, rapid recomposition of the global workforce. Let's move on to Section 3, the new millionaire jobs. Time to totally forget that traditional tech bro path. There is this beautiful, absolute irony happening right now. For decades, we literally pushed everyone into basic STEM programming. But today, the basic office coder is at an incredibly high risk of being commoditized by AI. On the flip side, the master plumber or electrician, they have zero risk of AI replacement. Zero. There's a massive global shortage of these trades right now, and it's driving their wages into highly secure six-figure incomes. Because let's face it, AI cannot swing a hammer, it can't wire a house, and it definitely can't fix a leaky pipe. But beyond the traditional physical traits, let's quickly detail these booming new tech fields. They honestly sound like science fiction, but they are paying massive premiums today. You've got AI auditors handling complex legal compliance, deepfake forensics experts verifying what's actually true on the internet, data center technicians keeping the massive servers running, and incredibly nuclear energy workers. Think about it. AI data centers require so much electricity that they are single-handedly reviving the nuclear-powered job market, offering salaries well over $100,000 a year. No way, right? And if you're the one building the picks and shovels for this AI gold rush, the ceiling is just astronomical. $18 billion. That is the estimated fortune of Edwin Chen, the founder of Surge AI. And get this, he didn't build a new chatbot. No, he built the human data labeling infrastructure that trains the AI. He recognized early on that AI is completely dependent on high-quality human input. By supplying that pure human intelligence, he minted a brand new multi-billion-dollar empire. So Section 4, the rebirth of soft skills. We are officially looking at the death of the routine technical worker. The World Economic Forum is projecting this massive radical shift by 2030. Hard technical STEM skills, they're slowly becoming commoditized. Why? Simply because an AI can execute technical formulas flawlessly. It just can. But what they call emotional and volitional skills, the deeply human traits of empathy, drive, and complex social navigation, those are impossible to automate. What we used to casually dismiss as soft skills are officially outranking technical skills in both demand and pay. It's a real game changer. Let's break down these 4 irreplaceable human skills highlighted by industry leaders at TRG data centers. First, conflict resolution. AI absolutely cannot de-escalate an angry client and rebuild trust. Second, rapid adaptability. AI relies entirely on past data, but humans, we navigate unprecedented chaos. Third, inspirational leadership. An algorithm cannot motivate a burned-out team. It's just not going to happen. And finally, systems thinking. Connecting the dots across entirely different departments to see the big picture. These are the exact skills you absolutely must cultivate. Finally, Section 5, the luxury of being human. This is the most surprising economic twist of the entire AI era. Just really think about this for a second. AI cannot inspire people. It does not build trust. No matter how crazy advanced these language models get, true connection, genuine empathy, and real leadership will always require a human heartbeat. In a world completely drowning in synthetic, machine-generated content, authenticity is going to become the rarest commodity on Earth. And you know what? The market is already pricing this in. 2,000%. Economic studies are showing that certain objects and services carrying a certified human-made label are already selling at premiums up to 2,000% higher than their exact machine-made counterparts. Whether it's a handcrafted tool, certified human-written literature, or in-person therapy, humanity itself is literally transitioning into a high-end luxury good. That is wild. So, what's your game plan? If you're a focused learner watching this, here is your actionable roadmap to secure your wealth in 2030. Step 1. Automate your own routine tasks today before someone else does it for you. Step 2. Upskill in applied AI. Don't just learn what AI is, learn how to apply it specifically to your current profession. Make yourself 50% faster. And Step 3. Lean heavily into your unique human traits. Double down on your emotional intelligence, your leadership, and your creativity. So I'm going to leave you with a bit of a challenge today, something to help you deeply analyze your own career trajectory right now. Look at your daily tasks and really ask yourself, is your current job genuinely human-proof? Or, by acting like a machine doing routine, repetitive tasks day in and day out, are you actually becoming just another robot waiting to be replaced? The choice of how you adapt is entirely yours. Keep learning, keep evolving, and we will see you in the next